Hello yogis, my name is Tony Fudge and I will be guiding you through a nice, relaxed hips and hamstrings class. This would be a great practice to do before bed, or maybe if you just had a really big workout and you want to have a nice cool down. We're going to be using a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a rolled up towel. You can also use a pillow. Find whatever you need and come to your mat. We're gonna actually get started in child's pose. So taking the bolster underneath our torso, just placing it right underneath the body, bring the knees really wide, toes together, and then start to lay the torso down on your bolster. I like to wrap my arms up and over the bolster and then just drop one of my cheeks down onto the bolster. Maybe you wiggle your hips from side to side, close your eyes, and start to settle in here. It's a great practice to even do while you're in your bed and starting to wind down for your night. And we'll start to notice our breath. Notice your inhales, notice your exhales. Sending your breath towards your belly. And then exhale, get a little lighter, a little softer, melt a little deeper onto your bolster. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale. Hi, we got a little visitor. Big inhale. Big exhale. Soften through your shoulders, soften through your jaw. And allow yourself to surrender here. Allowing your body to relax. Allowing your thoughts to fade into the background. Allowing yourself to become present in this moment. Noticing the sounds around you. Noticing how you're feeling. Noticing the heat of the space. Notice your breath. Feel grounded here on your mat. Knowing that this practice, my voice is just a guide. Always take what you need, make modifications or adjustments. You can always find child's pose or maybe just shavasana if you need it. My guide is just a recommendation. Just do what your body needs, what is serving you in this moment in time. If you took your cheek to the mat or to the bolster, you can bring it towards the other side, placing the opposite cheek down onto your bolster. Allow yourself to settle in here for a few breaths. Long, steady inhales, and slow and controlled exhales. And just a few more minutes here, just a few more breaths here in our child's pose. Just one more inhale, and one more exhale. As you inhale, start to roll yourself up. Move the bolster towards the side for a minute. Plant the hands onto the mat. Find your tabletop, stacking your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your wrists. Take some cat-cows, nice and gentle here. Big inhale. Dropping the belly down, gaze comes up, sit onto your thigh. Then exhale, round through your spine. press into the mat with your knees, top of the feet, the hands. Inhale, drop the belly down, sit bones reach high, gaze lifts high. And then exhale, round your spine, tuck the tailbone under, tuck your gaze in towards your belly button. Inhale, drop the belly, sit bones reach high, gaze lifts. Exhale, round. We're going to tuck our toes and lift the hips up and back, find a down dog. We'll be here for a few breaths. Pedal out the feet, bending through one knee, straightening through the other. Just move slow and gentle here, really working through the back side of the body, into your hamstrings, your calves, your Achilles tendon. Really press into the hands and guide the chest towards the thighs a little bit deeper. And then a nice bend through both knees. Start to walk your feet out towards mat distance apart, staying in your down dog. Place the left hand in the center of the mat, the top center of the mat. Take the right hand and reach for the left leg, finding a little gentle twist here. Send your breath towards your belly. 2 more breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale, twist a little deeper. And then inhale back through center, placing the right hand down where the left one was. And then take the left hand back towards the shin, maybe the ankle, or maybe you're just reaching for any part of the leg that suits you best. Doesn't matter where it lands. Big inhale. As you exhale, you twist a little deeper. Just 2 more breaths here. Gaze can come up towards the sky, underneath the right armpit. Big inhale. Big exhale. As you inhale, come back through down dog. Step the feet together or towards hip distance. And we're going to draw the right knee towards the right tricep and then step forward on the other edge of the right hand. Drop down onto the back knee and tuck the back toes. Finding a deep lizard pose here. You can stay up onto the hands. Maybe this is too much. You can come up a little higher and place your hands on top of your bolster to lift the chest up. This might be a perfect place for you to stay. You can always walk down onto the elbows. Maybe that feels a little bit better. Or maybe removing your bolster and just dropping down right onto the mat. Knowing whatever shape you take, you're just looking for a nice sensation, a nice stretch through the other right hip. Maybe use your bolster to rest your head on, your forehead on. And just be aware of your knee. Make sure that the knee is directly over the ankle and in line with the toes. If your heel is back too far, it might cause a little bit of damage towards the knee, so just be careful of that. Bring the heel directly underneath. Breathe here. Closing the eyes. And try to bring the gaze maybe directly underneath your forehead, or maybe even look a little bit towards the top of the mat. And soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. And then there's an option to open up into a twist. Maybe you come back onto the hands. And you reach back and you grab for the left ankle, the left foot. Or maybe you just try to grab for it. It doesn't matter if you actually grab it. Maybe you have the grip, and if you do, you can start to guide the heel a little closer towards the glute. The opening up through your chest. Melt the hips a little closer towards the mat. Big inhale. As you exhale, let go of the grip of the foot, landing the foot back onto the mat. And then we're just going to heel toe the right foot all the way over towards the left side of the mat, finding half pigeon here. Maybe you draw your heel towards your pelvis. Try to find that nice place where it feels comfortable in your knee. And then this is a great place to even place your bolster underneath the right hip. So we do that because a lot of our hips will start to drop down towards the mat. So instead of having it resting on the mat, we're bringing our hips square to the top of our mat. And to have that support from the bolster will help us do that. So find that in the legs and the hips. And then when you're ready, you can start to settle down into your depth of the pose, finding yourself in a nice deep stretch on the right side, right hip, breathing into that sensation, closing your eyes, softening through your shoulders. And breathe here. And to help you get through this pose, I know this can be quite challenging for a lot of people. I like to help people with a little mindset work here. And for the next maybe 10 breaths or so, I want you to think about one thing that you desire. One thing that pops into your mind that you want to happen in the next, let's say, 365 days. Just one thing. I want you to picture it. I want you to see it. I want you to create it in your mind, but I also want you to feel it. How does it make you feel? Who are you with? Where are you? When we start to create it in our mind, we can bring it to life. And if something doesn't come to your mind, that's okay. Just connect to your breath. And just 3 more breaths here. One more inhale. And as you exhale, sigh to let it go. And then inhale, coming back up. Tucking through the back toes, lifting up. Sending the right foot to meet the left, finding your down dog. Pedal that out, let go. And then we'll go through the second side. Draw the left knee towards the chest, squeeze it in. And then plant the foot on the outer edge of the left hand. Drop the back knee down, untuck the back toes. Finding your lizard pose here. And then take those options with the hands. Maybe you bring your hands up onto your bolster, your pillow. Find that. Or maybe you come down onto your elbows, onto your bolster, or even down onto the mat. And notice that left ankle is directly underneath the left knee and in line with the toes. If it's not, just move it there. Making sure your gaze is about a few inches above your hands or your top of your mat, keeping a nice flat spine. Try not to tuck the chin towards the chest. And breathe here. Big inhales and slow and steady exhales. Trying to elongate your breath. Big, long inhales, maybe for a count of 5 or 6. And long and steady exhales for maybe 5 or 6, maybe even 7. Extending your exhales a little bit longer than your inhales. Really starting to slow down the mind, the heart, the breath. And breathe here. One more inhale. Maybe you start to open up into the twist by walking back onto the hands. Reach the left arm back, bend through the right knee, and grab a hold of the right foot. Opening up here. If you grabbed a hold of the foot, you can start to draw the heel towards the glute a little bit more if that feels okay. Gaze can come back towards the left hand, the right foot. Maybe just close your eyes and focus on your breath. One more inhale. As you exhale, start to unwind, left hand plants. Heel toe the left foot all the way over towards the right side of your mat. Maybe drawing the heel towards your pelvis or shin more in alignment with the top of the mat. And maybe taking the bolster underneath the left hip if you need that. Just trying to keep the hips nice and square towards the top of the mat. Big inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to melt the heart down towards the mat. Maybe landing your forehead onto the bolster, onto your thumbs. Close your eyes. Let's come back to that desire. Start to create it again. Start to picture it in the mind. Noticing all the details of it. Who are you with? How are you feeling? Are you smiling? Bring out a smile. What's the temperature? Is it cold? Is it warm? Picture everything about that exact moment that you want to create. The more that you can create it in your mind, the more that it's likely to happen in reality. Big inhales and slow and steady exhales. Just 3 more breaths here, really thinking of that desire, really creating it, really picturing it, really feeling it. Just 1 more inhale here. And exhale, slide out, let it go. As you inhale, start to walk up onto the hands. Remove any props from underneath your left hip, and then just drop down onto the left hip, swing the right leg around. I'm going to come into Dandasana, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So we're going to just remove the fleshy bits from underneath the glutes. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and then as you exhale, start to fold forward. You can take your bolster and maybe place it underneath the forehead so you can have that little bit of comfort here, maybe wrapping your arms around your bolster, or maybe just resting the bolster on the legs and folding right on top of it. Send your breath towards the back of the legs. Feeling a nice sensation down our hamstrings, our calves. Softening through your shoulders, softening through the jaw. Three more breaths. One more inhale. And one more exhale. As you inhale, slowly start to roll up. Move your bolster. And then roll into the back. Draw the knees towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here, a little rock from side to side. Find some stillness. Draw both knees towards the armpits. And maybe you stay here. Maybe this is enough. Beautiful. Or maybe you start to reach up and grab for your feet, stacking the heels over the knees, reaching for the outer inner part of the foot, maybe even taking peace fingers around the big toes. Think of sending your sit bones down towards the mat. Maybe you rock from side to side. Little tuck of the chin towards the chest. Keeping a nice long spine on the mat. Soften your shoulders. Soften your jaw. Close your eyes. Really slowing down. And then as you exhale, draw the knees back in through your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Then draw the forehead towards the knees. Squeeze everything in. Squeeze everything super, super tight. Give yourself a big hug. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale a little bit more air. A little bit more. And then as you exhale, let it all go on your mat. Finding your final resting pose, Shavasana. Tucking your shoulder blades together. Reaching the feet nice and wide. Let your feet open up like a book. Palms of the hands turn up towards the sky. Take up space. And allow yourself to completely unwind here. Let go. And find stillness. Really soaking up this energy, allowing yourself to find stillness, find surrender, find peace. I challenge you to take a few minutes here on your backs to completely let go. Thank you for showing up for yourself today and allowing me to guide you through your practice. From my heart to yours, namaste.